Hello guys, I'm Rebecca from Rebecca's Creations, and today I'm here to debug my other theory, which was somehow popular, guys. Like, oh my gosh, 100 views? That is great for my channel, guys. I don't expect to get that many views, which is why I don't consider the history of Polynesians and Native Americans, of which people were commenting about. So this is why I'm here to fix my theory. So instead of Pocahontas being ancestor of Moana, I switched the question around, but I'm just going to call this, for the sake of this video so you guys can find it, part 2. But basically I'm now calling this Moana is the ancestor of Pocahontas. And there's not as much evidence as the first one. However, the historical, more accurate version of this theory does have some evidence towards it, like some real life evidence is I've definitely found. So yeah, now before we start though, I shall show you my inspirational comments right now. Well, I'll show you the comments of people that commented this, and basically if you guys are watching, please say because I'm going to give a shout out to you guys now, and hopefully I can answer your questions on this theory. Okay guys, so here are the comments that I found, guys. So my main commenter for this issue was Charles James, so shout out to you. And he said that the events of Moana took place long before the events of Pocahontas. And I was like, well, okay, thank you for commenting. And by the way, guys, I presumed Pocahontas came out as one more civilized than Pocahontas, or like the island did. And that's the point I pointed out in like my first part, as I call it, which is this one. Yeah, look guys, 100 views, what? And like 3 likes, so awesome. Anyway, let's carry on. So then he goes on to say, I understand the misconception. All of that comes from the fact that Disney writers then wrote to define, not in the best way, the difference between the natives and the explorers. Side note, there's been evidence that Native Americans like Pocahontas were descended from Polynesians like Moana, so you can make an argument for the reverse. Moana takes place in roughly around 980 BCE and Pocahontas takes place in early 1600s AD. Now after he wrote that, and then thinking about it, I was like, yeah, Pocahontas in a way does sound more civilized. And I thought this from the fact that Pocahontas' people have like more advanced clothing, and they also have relationships with the English, which I presume probably weren't around as much in Moana's time. So after that I was like, are these my theories completely crazy, and kind of made sense for us to clear this up because he did kind of clear it up for me. And he said first take it so well, and yeah, all of that jazz there. Thank you for your lovely comments, Charles James, that really helped. Then another person called Multimedia Fangirl, and then said, oops, sorry, didn't mean to click on your channel, darling. Oops, let's go backwards. Sorry. But anyway, she commented when it comes up. Nope, not there. She commented, by the way, I love your profile picture, can I just say, that's awesome. She says, not that. She says, I kind of agree with you that it takes place after, because in the movie, Moana's father says it's tradition, which means they still carry on traditions like having cheese, and they aren't very advanced, or we know it take place in the modern day. And I also agree with you, Multimedia Fangirl. So yes, I do agree with your point as well. So I'm going to put both of them 2 theories into my video. So Charles James, your part about the part saying that Moana could have happened before Pocahontas, I am going to put it into my theory. I'm going to say yes, that is true. I believe you for that. And I'm going to also add them to your point, Multimedia. And I'm going to tell you guys that the traditions of chiefs and stuff carried on throughout the century. And my story to go with this is Moana was like, my place is super advanced now, and I think we should go and find more islands and make more civilized islands full of people, and eventually one of them islands had the Native Americans, of which Pocahontas is from, you know? Now, I've also got some evidence for the links between Native Americans and Pacific Islanders from this post which I found on the Christian Science Monitor. Somehow. Anyway, so this is like the map of all the Pacific Islanders and all sorts like that. And it says the number of native Amazon rainforests may have number of the natives in the American Amazon rainforest may have partly descended from people from Pacific. And they said it's because most of the studies suggest that Native Americans analysed to date can trace much of all their ancestry to a single common origin. A population from Eurasia migrated to the Americas more than 50,000 years ago, back when lower sea levels exposed from bone and birch. Since here, however, a number of prior studies of skull shapes hinted that two distinct groups entered the Americas. One Asian type is similar to the vast majority of modern Native Americans, and the other type is seen as skeletons. So basically, you use skeletons and DNA to basically travel it back, guys. So to solve this mystery, scientists analysed the data of 30 Native American groups from Central and South America, and 107 non-American populations sampled worldwide. So South Pacific Islanders, basically. They found that some native roots from the Amazon rainforest derive a fraction of the ancestry from populations closely related to the origin of the islands in the Bay of Bengal, New Guineans, Papuans, and indigenous Australians, to present-day Eurasians or Native Americans. So, saying that the Australian and Pacific Islanders are related to the Native Americans. So, and he thought it was quite surprising to them, and it is quite surprising to me as well. In fact, it's awesome. It just proved my theory that they're totally related. It also proves that Moana actually did come first, correct my old theory. So basically, if you guys didn't understand what this was before, just go on about it to proper read. I'll give the link down below to this whole page if you want to see it in full detail. But it's basically saying that with travelling for DNA in schools and stuff, they eventually found the link between the two, and it's like, whoa. So that supports my theory. Now, let's carry on. Now, it's not just these factors which make it unbelievably so awesome that these two are related. It's also really cool fact to point out to you guys that both Moana and Pocahontas both have these special necklaces that they get from people from their family that have recently descended. So, like, died basically. Moana got hers from her grandma who died, and she got given a necklace, and Pocahontas the same. Another point to add is as well, which makes these guys very similar, is that Pocahontas are both daughters of the chief. So whether you like or not Moana, you are considered a princess because Pocahontas is as well. Now, so this theory is pretty much there now, guys. The only problem is we've got with this now is it would mean that Moana isn't a direct ancestor from Pocahontas. Reason for this is let's go back to my story where I said that Moana carries on voyaging, her people, those people have different families on different islands and stuff, so we don't know which family could have been the direct ancestor of Pocahontas. But we do know that Moana definitely could have set off the idea of voyaging to different islands and creating new populations of people and stuff, and one of the Polynesian group obviously ended up becoming Native Americans. Whether Moana became part of that group, I am not sure, so I do not know. So that makes this theory a bit less clear, or / accurate on the movie version, on the movie side of this. But this is basically my historically accurate version of my other theory, so there you go, guys. So I think this really makes sense, especially with the clothing as well. It's, looking at it, Moana's clothing that her village has and she has definitely evolved from the beginnings. Before they were all in like leaf skirts, and now they're in like slightly more higher standard leaf skirts. But now, like years later, different Polynesian ancestors split off and then obviously one of them became the Native Americans, but they obviously changed up the outfits a bit because of where they are and stuff. And I guess over time, more material became more common, like so they can make clothing out of that material. Like with Pocahontas's sort of group of people, they have quite a high standard clothing and stuff. Not as high standard as the British and all that jazz, but definitely a bit more of a milestone from what the Polynesians had beforehand. And then the final thing to discuss here, and it's very revisited, is the gods. I visited this on the part 1, I guess I could call it. And there I said there were gods in Pocahontas, and yes, I think there were, like I said, because the spirits are like that come out the fire are like the gods. Or they could be spirits of people that were on Moana's island, or on any of the Polynesian islands. So it's like gods / spirits I'm getting from them now. I feel like they're more spirits though now, some more descendants from other like Polynesian ancestors. I'm getting this from inspiration from a theory that I've watched. I think it was Super Carnivores that came up with this, or what's the videos 1, 2. By the way, guys, love your theories if you're watching. One of the videos one of them pointed out when they were discussing Tamatoa's origin and stuff, they discussed how Tamatoa could have been an actual person because the lair of monsters is another way of saying the place of the dead, indicating that they're the ancestors. So for Pocahontas' side, the spirits that could come out the flames could be the ancestors. And I could go further on to explain this, for that in A Brother Bear, which is another Disney film, guys, they have lots of like native looking people that in the film at the beginning of it, and they also and their version of the grandma in the film, like their version of the Grandma Willow and Grandma Tala, she basically is like the person that talks to the spirits in the sky, and then they can do anything basically. So I'm guessing they're kind of gods. And see, guys, just intertwine another movie here. But basically, she explains that all the spirits are people. In fact, it's shown in the movie, like what's the dude's name? Canine's, there you go. Brother died, but then he was still brought back as like a eagle, and that same idea came across in Moana, where Grandma Tala came back as a stingray. So that idea could then again be put onto Pocahontas, saying spirits that come out the flames that are deciding whether they should go to war or not with the English could definitely be ancestors of Polynesians or Native Americans. So they want to be more recent, obviously. So there you go. So I think we got it, guys. I think we got it. So I think the gods of Pocahontas are more spirits. I don't think the gods are less common, but they still praise them and stuff. But I think the gods aren't as interactive as they were in Moana. So maybe they don't interact with humans, unless Moana is a demigod herself, so she can actually talk to. So she's the only human that can talk to Tafiti, who's a god. So, and that's another theory from Super Brothers or What's Up videos. Like I said, love your theories, guys. So yeah, I think I've got this theory now, guys. So if you guys are one of the people that comment in the comments about this theory and like kind of hinting that I should revisit it and switch it around and stuff, well, shout out to you, because yeah, and I just hope I've answered your questions, well, your mini theories in the comments and / questions / conspiracies. And I just really would like to know if I've answered your conspiracies. That's you, Charles James, and the other person I mentioned earlier, I can't remember your name. But yeah, please tell me in the comments below if I've explained this theory a little more, if I've gone a bit more in depth and stuff. But of course, if you guys want the guys that weren't too bothered about the historical accurateness of my original theory, then you can, of course, stick with my original theory with Pocahontas being an ancestor of Moana. But of course, we all know if you want to go to historically accurate way, then this is the path to throw for you, part 2, I guess. So yeah. So like I said, I hope I sorted it out for you guys. Hope I corrected it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like, subscribe, and I will see you all soon. And by the way, guys, I think both versions make sense, so that's good. Please tell me if I made any more mistakes in this one. Oh no, I'm trying to find another one to clear up. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.
Gonna miss you, drumstick.